was 5 years old, my parents took me to the opera house. While I was watching the conductor, I was very interested in that person. What is he doing? Because I thought that he's like painting.
I think we have this notion that music belongs to someone else.
Great music is too much of a gift for people to feel that way.
Classical music is human. It is about what is in the heart.
And this is the Boston Symphony Orchestra. Our response time is basically instantaneous.
So you grow up, revering this orchestra. It can be a dream to play with one of those groups one day, and then all of a sudden, the dream comes true. Showtime!
When I was 5 years old, my parents took me to the opera house in Riga. It's a beautiful opera house, and it was the performance of Wagner Tannhäuser. What I remember that opera performance always will remain in my memory as one of the most shocking, in a nice way, experiences. And then I subconsciously, when I was watching the performance, as a 5-year-old, I was watching the conductor because I did not really understand what he's doing. Of course, my father told, of course, there will be conductor. But at that point, I was very interested in that person. What is he doing? Because I thought that he's like painting. The profession of conductor has been, in a way, kind of a mystical profession because, conductor doesn't really, obviously, doesn't play any instrument. That the moment that he conducts, it's just waving hands and then making strange faces and sometimes jumping and dancing. And then you think, why does and how does can influence the result of the musicians who actually play? But there are moments, what conductor, of course, with his gestures and technique, that he gives the tempo and shows the tempo changes. So all of these technical things he does, and the orchestra is relying on conductor. He has responsibility of that. But of course, it is only the one part. The most important, I think, and most interesting part is that the conductor is actually and can inspire and influence the musical essence of the performance, the atmosphere, the either its beauty or sometimes aggression or sarcasm, or it depends on the piece. So the character of music, the conductor shows through his hands, the face, and through his personality.
We can really take pa and late crescendo, then we can hear ta 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 in the saxophones, yeah? Shall we try figure 7, please, yeah?
Talking of Tanglewood Festival Orchestra concerts, which is an orchestra which consists of the students of fellows of Tanglewood. And of course you get close to teaching with the students, you get again, it reminds you how it was when you were a student.
And then there's one thing for tuba, please. One after 28, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th bar. The last note is a little late. Paritam.
It's a great atmosphere, and it's a great energy, and it's a great, real fun music making.
With the same articulation, they say...
In my experience, living in Soviet Union and for first 12 years of my life, and of course then hearing from my parents, knowing the history, how difficult it was, or actually impossible to express what did you feel about life. And music was one of the ways where you could express yourself without words, through music. From very early age, the music was somehow very, very important, not only as a pleasure to perform and as a beauty, but actually as a necessity, and the only huge necessity, to really like a food for the soul. My father, as a present, gave me trumpet. And so I started to play trumpet. And from age of 11, I would say that was a decisive moment, and I knew, yes, I'm going to be a musician. My conducting dreams, which still come back to 5-year-old boy, were somewhere here. And then I started practically to study conducting when I was 15 years old. I felt that being in front of the orchestra on the podium, I feel that I can express myself as a musician much better than I could express through trumpet or through singing. But I, at that moment, forgot about myself. I forgot that I'm shy. I just conducted, I just thought of music, and I felt that that's the place I feel the best as a musician. One is clear, that I think every orchestra musician expects from the conductor the clarity of everything, so the clarity of the beat, so they understand where is the beat. I think that the next is that I think the orchestra expects from conductor to have the vision why we play a certain piece that or that way. When you come in front of orchestra, you should not think that you are going to teach the orchestra how to play, because they know much better. The question is you can take them on board, so they follow you, they trust you, and you trust them. But at the end, together, this is one organism, which is based on respect, understanding, and listening to each other and communicating with each other. I think that you can create a result which is much warmer, much more honest, and I think audience feels that. Of course, the score is the source of the genius composer. What is written, the notes, the skeleton, that's only the notes. We perform that, but we need to bring that essence of these notes alive. What it means, what story, what message does a composer want to bring? And for that we need open hearts, open brains, and willingness to do the best for the result. We should think about, really, most importantly, what this music is, why, and what this music is wanting to tell to us. It's not that okay, so it's fine. But is it something excitement? Is it confusion? Is it something, a metaphor which is sometimes misunderstood? That's the only reason why I love music and why I love conducting. I love because it's not only playing the notes, but it is transmitting what is between the notes, what is the message. If this profession would be playing right notes only, I would not do it because it would be boring. That's what I find. For us, as musicians or as a conductor or any musician, we need to, to transmit or infect with that the audience. And if we can't do that, I think that then we haven't succeeded our mission. Because if you only play right notes, and it's not enough. We have to play, of course, right notes, but we have to give our heart and to every concert, and then audience feels that.
And I'm the assistant concertmaster of the Boston Symphony. When I'm not at the hall, when I'm not playing in the symphony, I really love to travel and I love to hike. It's a recent passion, the hiking. I discovered that in 2014 when I went on a trip to Peru. I like being in the quiet, I like the greenery, I like, spotting the occasional animal, and I really like climbing things, as it turns out. Nothing technical, but I love ascent. I've spent so much of my life in practice rooms or in halls, and like the four walls are very, very familiar to me. But when you're outside, there is none of that. It's very expansive. I mean, even if you've got a lot of tree cover and you're hiking in, like a grove or something, or like not an open space, even then it's very freeing, and I find it meditative, and it clears my mind, and I'm just a happier person. Another recent highlight for me in my travels was getting to snorkel between these two tectonic plates, two continents, I think the North American one and the European one. And there was a whole series of things you had to put on. You had your long underwear, you had I don't know if it's a dry suit, and then you had a wetsuit on top of that, you had the flippers, you had the masks, you had these gloves, all rental, so my gloves started leaking almost immediately. But you just kind of paddle around and you look at this amazing thing that happened just millennia ago, and at one point as you're swimming through you can touch both continents, which was kind of a cool feeling, I have to say.
Like orchestras around the country, the BSO wants to connect with its local community.
I think we have this notion that music belongs to someone else. It only belongs to a group of people who get dressed up and come down to the concert hall, and that's not the purpose of music.
Great music is too much of a gift for people to feel that way. It really does belong to everybody.
Classical music is human, and it's not the elite theater where everyone is just playing, polite. It's not. It is about what is in the heart. We want to go into communities more and very actively to share a great passion for music.
The baby loves Keith Lockhart. Big Keith fan.
It's the beginning of a new era for the Boston Symphony and the Boston Pops to be outside of its doors and to be in the midst of the community that we're trying to serve. I always call things like this a community of friends coming together around great music, and that really kind of sums it up.
Come on and stand up. Come on, clap your hands. And let's give God the praise. One more time. Stand up.
It just gets me in a good mood when I hear classical music. It's calming, and it's good for like studying and sleeping.
They wouldn't know about classical music unless we brought it to their attention. So obviously they love it because they called me and said, "Can we go to the Pops?" I'm like, "You want to go to the Pops?" And the answer was, "Yeah."
It is my pleasure to welcome to the stage my friend and colleague, Mr. Keith Lockhart.
So to be here and see a community that was just, it was diverse in all the best ways, in age, from little tiny kids and enjoying what may have been their first taste of orchestral music, and their grandparents and everybody else in between, ethnic communities from really all over the globe. Coming to your neighborhood, playing it on your terms, giving people the opportunity to experience it in the most relaxing, least intimidating scenario possible is a great way for a first taste. And what's important, what's incumbent upon all of us as artists is to make sure that's not the only taste, which is still on us to continue to reach out.
Boston Pop's playing, as you hear now, John Williams, and we want to show that also, you know, the great composers who lived 200 years ago, and they talked about the same things as this night, like beautiful music, you know, it's like a food for souls, you know. There are no really boundaries or borders. It's all music, and if it's a great quality, it's a great music.
Point your finger so you're gonna pinch it. Yep. Hey, you did a really good job.
We love music, and we know how great the music has changed our lives, and therefore we want to share it with the community.
My name's Bonnie Buick, and I play violin with the Boston Symphony. And when I'm not playing violin with the Boston Symphony, I play a lot of Celtic fiddle. The rhythm of it is inside you rather than on a page. For all of the musicians in the Boston Symphony, we're all very rhythmic people, and we play together so beautifully. There are distinct differences because in the Boston Symphony, we have an ebb and a flow of the sound that is a really powerful thing, and all of us in the orchestra play together and as one unit, and sometimes the music surges forward and takes you with it, and sometimes you pause for this beautiful moment, whereas in the traditional scene, there's a groove and you're locked into it, and that is also a very powerful thing. And that groove just emanates from inside you, and it can just sweep you away and just be this very powerful gesture. And you don't use any music, so that's another aspect that's very different from classical. You learn all of these tunes by ear, and when I first started, that was a real challenge for me, but now it's much better to learn a tune by ear than to look at notes on a page, because you really know it. Some of my best experiences with this Celtic scene have been teaching fiddle music to young players, and I have a little group of fiddlers that I work with out at Tanglewood every summer, and they're called the BSO Brats, and they are classical, straight-up violinists who really pick up this folk music very quickly. Rhythm is a driving force, and it's something, it's like a heartbeat, it's like how you walk, it's a pace. And I've felt like the folk scene has relaxed me and has allowed me to sort of sink into that rhythm more. It has a relaxing quality and a freeing quality at the same time. And it has changed the way I play in the symphony.
I suppose in the scheme of things, there's the ever popular boom chick boom chick in a waltz. I'm the boom, he's the chick. I'm sorry about that. You can't chick until I boomed, and I can't boom again until you've played your last chick. And
I've never heard that.
You never heard that?
Well, I've not described in this manner.
I mean, this is the Boston Symphony Orchestra. Our response time is basically instantaneous.
My dad put it is, you've been bitten. So you've been bitten by this bug that you can't really do anything else because it's so important to you.
I grew up in Hingham, Massachusetts, about 20 miles south of Boston, where at that time in the 50s and 60s, there were music departments in the high schools and the public schools. In the class of 1970 in the Boston Symphony Orchestra, 9 members joined the orchestra. And as a senior at New England Conservatory, I auditioned and won it. Even as a senior in college, when I won the job, I don't think I had any idea of what I had just won.
I started around the age of 5 with my mother. She runs a Suzuki music school in the Twin Cities of Minnesota. Entire family was always surrounded by music, so from day one I always had music going on. Progressively kept loving it more and more, and then my last degree was at the Juilliard School. There was a bit of a rough patch where I didn't really know how to practice, and I actually thought of maybe stepping away from music and doing something else, but I knew I'd probably regret something if I really didn't put all my eggs in that basket.
Places in there since it's brand new. Starting with the top, please.
The auditions are, I wouldn't say there's too much excitement in that. It's mainly just a lot of stress and anxiety, but after it's done, the excitement kicks in.
Any musician of the caliber to win a job in the Boston Symphony Orchestra has done so because their voice, their personal voice, the voice that is attached to their real person, is the one that is attached to their instrument as well.
It's almost, you grow up, revering this orchestra. You hear the recordings and everything else, and, it can be a dream to play with one of those groups one day, and then all of a sudden, the dream comes true. There's a handful of pieces I've never played, and actually pieces I had played with, youth orchestra, that I play again with the BSO. That's like learning how to drive again, just where you like practice, Toyota Camry, and then you're driving in a Ferrari or something after that. So.
Think of something someone said to me verbally, vocally, that I took with me through the years. But the way people played, what they said musically, through their instruments, has stayed with me. Student taught me to do this. Have it already tied.
Definitely, once you get into like this, the seasoned professionals that really know the ins and outs of everything, and the repertoire they know, they can play it in their sleep. That's, kind of the stuff you look up to.
Have you ever played Damnation of Faust before? Barely.
Not before this time.
Yeah, and I played it numerous times to the point where I could phone in my part if I really wanted to, but I don't want to. And the best way to make sure that doesn't happen is to talk to someone who's playing it for the first time, for whom, let's say, that dance or that march is a goosebump moment. The Hungarian march, that's a goosebump moment. And I didn't get them a couple of performances ago, and then all of a sudden I thought, wait, listen, I'm imagining myself with the ears of my young colleagues who were playing it for the first time, imagining their goosebumps. I got them again. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Showtime.
To learn more about the Boston Symphony Orchestra, please visit www.bso.org.